Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of UGC Ninja Byte Talks. Today we're storming the gates of the Chinese market with unstoppable Sina Que. We're shredding the tight guanxi myths, exposing some client-killing mistakes foreigners keep repeating, and of course, how to earn trust without pretending drinking baijiu like a champion. We're gonna cover the most powerful Chinese marketing channels from Douyin to WeChat, and of course dig how AI and UGC transform the market faster than anyone can keep up. Enjoy!
I'm Ross, Head of Partnerships at UGC Ninja. Pretty excited to host this session today. And as a guest, we have Sina Que, a very experienced marketing specialist in China. And we actually got acquainted this year on China Joy. And I'm super eager to learn all of your experience about Chinese market, all the insights and all the shortcuts that you are willing to share with us today. Let's start.
Thank you, Ross. I'm very, very excited to be here. And like what Ross said, we met in a China Joy event. And that is very, very rare opportunity to have this after follow sessions with someone, having deep conversations. So very appreciate the opportunity and thank you so much.
Perfect. So let's start up. And the very first question I wanted to ask you is, what is the biggest myth about doing businesses in China that everyone keeps getting wrong?
I think one of the common questions I've got from the foreign friends, colleagues or so, they're traveling around, they ask me the question about do Chinese really care about guanxi? Is that relationship? In Chinese, that's guanxi, right? So everyone keep talking about it. There were sometimes on the books or studies about Chinese people and culture, they were saying this. Is that true? So I would say it was very true until now. It's fasting pace into very industrialized. Also for most mature industry like internet companies or so, the culture is already catching up the pace overseas. Although there were still differences, we care more about relationships, but it's already became the past tense, most of the cases. They care more about professionality. Give you example. So for example, if you think about having Chinese clients, having a big good dinner, pay for all the dinner is already good enough, or drink some very expensive Chinese spirit, is that gonna handle your client? I would say no for now. It will be helping you if your stuff is good, but it's not going to help that much. I would say maybe 10% if you have a really good trade, right? But most likely, the person who will modify the proposal or handling the work very well will win this race. So yeah, compared with that, guanxi's less effective than before. So that is a myth. Yeah.
That's super interesting. And the next question would be, how can we avoid pissing off our Chinese clients right off?
Yeah, I thought about that. And one thing came to my mind is actually culturally related. If you think about history, I'm not going to start with history in China because it's a long time. I'm not expert, but I would say do not have debate or conflict with person on any public conversation. So it seems intuitive, should be true elsewhere globally if you do business. But I believe, for example, some Western friends or clients or so, we sit down at a table, we discuss something, there are some arguments, but we can agree to disagreement. We can keep the flow and we can have a conclusion. That sounds like rational flow, or for us, it's more Westernized. We have that ability. But if you having your client or very key client you want to lever and you want to have them signed, then maybe it's good to avoid that. It's always better to respect people, even when they say something wrong in the figure or so. If it's not too obvious or even that's obvious, ping them in a small window in chat or remind them privately, will have their appreciation. Over, you just correct them on the spot. Because if you show you're superior, then the other side will be feeling you're inferior than the other side. So I guess it's actually a balance. But dynamically, if you want to have that client side, you can always lower yourself a little bit.
So it's better to play from a weak position always, right?
Yeah, or try to not be that smart person who knows everything than your client, right?
Not to show off. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
And if we do speak about doing business in China, what is the best way to win trust there? Is it all about face-to-face communication, or can it be done online? I'm asking this because ourselves, we're an outsourced partner, and we do have like face-to-face meetings with our Chinese partners. But I was always wondering, is it like necessary, or we can keep just online communication with them?
My personal experience, even I deal with Chinese clients go overseas most of the cases, it's always better after you have a few online chats or you're working for a short period of time, you have like on-site, face-to-face. It's improving the trust tremendously. I know there are like special cases. For example, you have a smaller office or remote and it's global business or so, maybe in different cases. But I think regardless of in what scenario, it will be true. You look at this person and you know, or having more personal touch. What you like, what the small talk is like, even you're doing something very gentle, pick up their stuff when they're falling on the ground, you do something a favor, right? Like they have like a warm personal touch with you than the cold chats, no matter how polite you seems or behaves like. So I guess my answer is like face-to-face is not replaceable, but not worth it for every client. If you want to have key clients or potential client, that's a must, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. This is super interesting to go deeper into your B2B experience. But speaking of Chinese market, definitely, I can't help asking a little bit about like B2C part of the things and some trends. And I know that you're based in China, so you're definitely like 200% native. And I'm really interested in like what's hot right now in China. I mean, are there any trends that are blowing up right now, or businesses that are on hype for Chinese audience?
I think about 2 points, but they are associated. So one is the unavoidable topic about AI. Like because the Chinese AI companies are doing very harsh in the market as well, like DeepSeek or there's like some TikTok company products or Tencent, they have their AI tools. They are competing on the models and stuff. I'm not pro on AI, but I'm already a deep user for AI. So talking about the trends, like I see most of my enterprise clients are somewhat already leveraging AI for no matter is content for drafting the meeting notes, or they're saying like doing some ads, like input the data and output something beautiful for a deck or a business like QBR or so. So that's one trend. For us, even me, like working for servicing B2B clients, I do it too. Like if I have a meeting notes and I just have a draft, it should be messy. So I was just like doing something, deleting something, and I'm just throw it to AI, give me a result for executive level, very short, concrete answer for my leader to read, and the rest make it very organizable to put on meeting notes for documentation. That is a very easy case. I guess everyone in the company like should be doing it because it's saving a lot of energy and being very proficient and even more accurate than people. Because you would not really have like spelling mistakes most of the cases, probably not. So I think that's one, AI. And two, I found is actually very creative related because my work is more focused on performance ads. So creative, mostly like collaborating with clients. So I feel that UGC, user generated content, is directly associated with more elements from AI. But even that, I think that's a role shift from like directing, writing script, and having agency doing the work, and you combine like the back in the days, the branding agency having more conversation, like the Mad Men, right? The TV series. That era is already past. Now is more of a combination of how people having the director thoughts on mindset. Sit down, having script, but having AI to correct and output very quickly so we can change different concepts to make it real, make it more human touch. I think the key point I want to fall to is more like the UGC is trending on to make it appear to be real person. You know, that sounds counterintuitive. Like AI have an AI touch, right? You see like perfect scan when someone's speaking.
True.
Also, there were like maybe some tools still have latency because of voiceover adding afterwards. But it's getting more accurate than before. And the best one they're doing is to combine the human thoughts, also like human-made materials with AI tools combined together to make it like a real person. Having even like there are some spots in the face that's not perfect scan, you know, like they do it on purpose. So it appeared to be real. Yeah.
Since that you work in the performance marketing field, you definitely can elaborate and can share some insights on the biggest marketing channels in China right now. So I'm really wondering if they're totally different from what we're used to in the West, or if it's kind of pretty similar and follows the same rules.
Actually, that's a very interesting and easy to answer question. But before answering that, I think before I was doing something like a marketing role early in my career. So I was actually trying to pitch my like previous company who was ownership like owned by a foreigner. It's a very small team. So I was trying to persuade that in China we have different channels. It's very different, blah blah blah. So easy to track on the internet. There are a lot of like pages or website that introducing you need to do ABCD in China. But that evolved very fast. For example, before I would say Baidu is a search engine that you cannot avoid. You should do ads there. But now it's a different layout. So cut to the chase, I would say like the current layout that I think you should consider. So the first one is like the Chinese version of TikTok that's called Douyin. Easy to understand. Like the short video trend is globally a thing. So if you want to do ads or UGC content or something similar, you should post there first. That's a good testing pool. Also, you get more likes or views than other platform in general because you have a huge the user base, right? Easy to understand. And the second one is for, let's say, I don't know whether you know this, but they say plant a seed in the customers like mindshare. It's more of a not really want them to have actions right away, but branding awareness in a way we know the terms. So there were some planting seeds type of the platform. It's called the Little Red Book or Red. So that is a place equal to Instagram back in the days. I think somehow similar. And then because the TikTok is going crazy and Douyin Chinese version, so they changed the strategy, have the video content incentivized as well. So now both images and videos are trending, also live stream. They combine lots of things to grow. So that is a place for most brands to find a good influencer and having more like easy to understand but not let them to buy kind of like ads, right? So you influence the users. Oh yeah, I should consider that one because she recommended and I like this poster or influencer. So yeah, that's a big thing. So to recap, there's one for like short video must go. That's TikTok, Douyin Chinese version. The second is planting a seed, branding awareness like is Red Book, and the third one, I guess people mostly know WeChat from like, you need to have a WeChat if you're in China or you go to China, right? Yes. So Tencent, WeChat is under Tencent. It's one department. So I will say they are actually integrating more of the short video trends in their product as well in recent years. So they already have the video like shipping how I don't know how to translate, but it's like video place. So you can post videos. If you don't have the mark from other platforms, you can actually upload again to replicate the influence. So we have that in WeChat, but to be honest, I ranked it third because it's not like the video lovers would go first. WeChat, for our like cognition, is more of a chatting tool, like with the family, friends, business, like comprehensive. That's true. So like equal to WhatsApp, but they're integrate with like the YouTube shorts and stuff. Like if you compare with the Westerners thought. Also, there's like public account. There's like branding, like old-fashioned article publishing in WeChat. You can search the brands. For example, our company is like an American company. Before I was working for Google, it's an even bigger like conglomerate. So they do have the public account and they share information about like job, recruiting, also the branding events or live, also recap for the people who they invite for guest speaker. So to have more brand awareness, I think that's good to go. But if you want to have quick thoughts, go to the 3 list top for Douyin first. Yeah.
And would you speak about like this public account? So it sounds to me like being a corporate media stuff. I'm wondering what's the main type of content for this? Is it just like articles, text, or it should we can use like videos, images for it? Like what's the typical structure that companies stick to? We do speak about managing a public account on WeChat.
That's a good question. I think it evolved to a level of equal to the Western right now. Like before, because when I think about once I know the public account, it was like when I was in university, like 10 years ago. So at the time, it was very like scrappy. You have all text. It's the information like a newspaper, right? It's like before you have the website or the laptop, and then it's a mobile era, and you use for like a one tool, one app on WeChat, you can see everything there. So integrate all those info to public account, and then it involved with the internet. They have more format is supported. You can upload the videos, audios. Also, they're like GIFs, you know, like they have moving memes and stuff. So it's getting more diverse, and you can support every format you can possibly imagine. Yes.
Yeah, a variety of tools they provide us with. This is cool. Perfect. And since we touched the channels, you already mentioned that AI is definitely like on demand at the moment, and you mentioned that companies tend to give AI a more authentic look to make it more real, more art direction, I'd say, on AI. But if we do speak about it, do like proper classic UGC style ads still work, or it's more just about AI? We just need to put more effort to make it look realistic and authentic. Like, what's the tendency and what's the trend from your perspective?
I think I've touched that before, but I just recall a very good metaphor because a few days ago I was in IKEA. I believe in where you are, I also have the IKEA. You go and shopping for some right home garden stuff. So I was there shopping with my friends, and I saw this like fake flower, but it's making so real. And what would we say? I was like, oh my god, that looks like a real thing. So same thing. If I see a really good like actual plant, I see like this looks like a fake thing because it's so real. So it's vice versa in different complements levels. But for AI, I think that's perfectly suited in that metaphor. That a good AI combined or making the production should be let a person feel, I have this touch. I have that like a problem, or have that like a real in reality. For example, if you have like a makeup as with AI's help, you don't want the skin looks so smooth that you have multiple filters applied on, right? So that's not real. It's better to be like a normal people. Even like worse skin, I would say not really that kind of worse, but I was saying like worse than normal, because you make people feel better than this. That's good as already, right? You have someone have a bad skin and this getting so much better after applying product. I don't want a fake product, but just having a metaphor, right? So after saying like you pick that prompt better, so you get better product, like production. Yeah.
What about the policies against the AI? Because like in the West, more and more platforms, they are looking for a way to control it. So for example, like all the disclaimers that, hey, this is like AI content. There are also some new rules for influencers that they need to highlight their like the kind of relation with a brand, whether it's going to be like a paid video or not, etc. So how it works in China at the moment?
I also seen on internet the deep fake concept. I think somehow somewhat related with what you're saying, right? There's a risk. There's a fundamental risk of it's easier for people to have rumors and on like not true, no truth spread it. So in that aspect, I think the regulation in China is actually already noticing something, and also platforms should be responsible. It's better to give the control to the platform who are actually showing the content. So I think the policy now is more of if a platform, for example, in Bilibili, like want a video, like long video, vertical, horizontal one platform, and also like short, like Douyin or the Redbook, I think they already have the mechanism to detect if it's highly likely to be AI made. And they will tag it, or they will limit your traffic. The logic, they will not review to you, right? Like, how do they know? Is that going to be mature enough? Maybe you will be misjudged if you upload something real, but maybe they say it is too perfect. Maybe like an AI made, right? Like the metaphor we had. Yeah, it's possible to misjudge.
Of course, like there are lots of ways for us to make the content, like whether with AI or UGC or like different parts of it. But if I'm a company like doing business in China or starting a business in China, what is the best thing for me to get started? Should I be like performance first, or it's better to start with influence marketing?
I'm looking from a perspective that for the audience who actually maybe want to help, no matter it's agency role or like client role. So standing from your standpoint is easier to start. So I would say if I were you, I would probably do the Redbook channel with more like planting the seed actions for branding awareness. Inviting some good influencers in your vertical, pick a few, pay some money for them to produce a very good video to share it in the vertical, what it will take for the product. Like example, if you have like a very good quality of electronic device, you want to have like a pro maybe like influencer who actually sharing more about comparing A to B to C and what they're good at and what is not good, disadvantages or so. So invite them to have the soft ads, soft recommendation. Maybe not ranking your product like top one, because if you don't have the brands yet, A's will be really fake and obvious. So making it soft, making this influencer understand I want your natural comments with a bit of a favorable like tips. So that appear to the users who are watching it more friendly. Okay,
This is super interesting for me because I used to work and speak mostly with mobile products, and they are absolutely obsessed with performance. And now you're saying that, hey, if you go to China, it's better to start with influence marketing a bit and also keep it soft, to keep it like not really pushy, and just like to get and check the reaction of the audience. This is super interesting. I think it's truly different from what the tests used to be in the West.
Can I add to it to some certain level?
Sure.
Because my example is for a real product, right? It's more e-commerce related in that sense. If I talk about mobile, because I work in mobile ads or like website ads industry for a while now, performance ads driven. We don't have really branding stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it's totally different from what I do. If I serve a mobile client or a patient client, of course the standpoint is totally different. I would say if you want install, if you want action, then you go for performance channels, or if you want pure branding, you go for a different approach. So I would say that's the two options for you.
This is interesting. So if I'm a mobile product going to China, for me, it's the best is going to be like go to Chinese TikTok and start like just classic performance campaigns, right? Okay, then the next question, based on what we've just discussed, is if I go to China, product-wise and content-wise, should I localize it totally, or like should I adapt it, or I can just localize it? So for example, we do speak about ads. Can I take some assets that I have for the Western parts of the world, just like localize them and test in China, or it's going to be like an absolute fail and I definitely need to create some native content?
I have answers. It's easy to say from a Chinese perspective. I will break into two views then. One view is as a Chinese like buyer. What do I feel when the foreign brands come to China, have a product, or even like if it's a virtual product is on the page, or like if I have the app, the localization is terrible, then what do? I just don't use it. And I feel if it's not necessary for my life, why do I bother? You know, even for like perfect Chinese, it's already overwhelming information. Why do I spend time on this one? You know, give me a reason. I don't see any, right? I have seen more rejections reasons. So that answers part of the question. So user perspective, of course, is a must to have a good localized content. And the second perspective is, even though you have the best translator in the world, or you have AI tool, you have someone like a local Chinese person to verify for you, to make it better, polish, it seems like, oh, perfectly making sense. You still will fail because the message delivery is different than just translating your mother language to the other. It should be technically, yeah, it's readable, it's perfect, no grammar mistakes, but I don't relate to it. That the tones or the story you tell have a different meaning. Maybe you're gonna like enlight a spark in the foreign user in your motherland, but in China, people relate to different things. If you talk about like you're like based in the Europe or like Western in the US, I don't relate to it. It's like, what is that? I would check. I was like, oh yeah, okay, but I don't. It's like jokes, right? Some cultural jokes. It's like working in your place with your friends, but you have a foreigner and it's like, what does it mean? We don't want that. So I think the localization have two phases. One, translate with accuracy. Two, or even better, you remake it. Remain something general, standardized, you have to keep for your brands. The rest of the stories you want to tell to make people feel touched, that one you need to remake for the local market. Yeah,
this is super interesting, and I totally agree with you because having a bachelor's degree in linguistics, I'm definitely the one who supports adaptation over just localization and translation. But You mentioned it before, and kind of like you mentioned jokes again. What about memes? I mean, in the West, I can see more and more companies doing their awareness campaigns or like managing their corporate media using lots of memes. And I'm really interested, like how it works in China. Do you have the same approach, like the same, you know, like funny pictures or short video memes, etc.? And do brands use memes to promote them to get more awareness, or it's something that's not typical for the culture?
I like the question. My short answer will be yes, but I will break into different levels. Because when you say meme, originally when I checked the foreign stuff online, oh, you know, meme is like an emoji, but making it fun with some elements or like the heated topic. So the meme itself, if you remove the heated topic or the interesting part, it's just a picture, a standardized template. So that is not the thing we focus on. What they put on to make a joke with it or what it reflects on is more about topic itself. So if we have that kept, we will have the heated topics very important for branding in China or everywhere, every market. You catch the trend. For example, in China, like I would say a month, 30 days already long enough for a trend to fall down. So it will not remain for too long, 1 or 2 months top. There were some interesting video. I'll give you an example. On Douyin, the TikTok Chinese version, there was a heated video like from a housewife recording something very scrappy, very real. I don't know what is real, but it looks real, right? So it's real. It's like complaining about, oh my god, I got up and I tried to like eat a snack that's like a cake snack, and it's like my husband prevented me to eat it because it's only 3. But I have 1 husband and 2 kids, and I'm the person he said is not deserved for the only 3 left. So that is a very interesting one, but imagine that the emotional part when a woman is like middle age, crying, and scrappy in real environment. How do you feel? You got immediately angry.
I would imagine that if I see something like this, I would think that, hey, this is going to be the product about relationships, because this kind of hook would work perfectly for, you know, like these traction apps. That's something, hey, like I figured out that the hotel with the lava, yeah, and then goes just the product presentation.
Okay.
This is my
That's a
personal
nice
perspective.
catch, but it's a very easy catch, right? But the term part is that trend arises from that video, but then the cake itself got popular around. But that's like a roller kind of a cake, and maybe Western, I don't remember the name, but that was an easy snack you can get on the supermarket. And then it becomes so hot, people know this kind of like know again about this snack. On the supermarket, they sell it, and like some smart shops who are using like have other products now adding that into.
But that
So
was
we
an
have the
accident.
memes, topics, integrating into it, saying like, oh, you can eat it because you have powerful girl. You eat what you want. You know what I mean? Like combined womanism, also the like standing in that kind of like stance. Yeah.
But that was an accident. So the original video wasn't made on purpose by the brand. That was
Yes.
just an accident. Wow,
Yes.
it's
True.
a lovely coincidence for the brand producing this.
No,
this
no,
video.
that brand is not getting famous. It's a common like product, but people do the same thing within their brands. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
a perfect
so they
example.
just replicate the pattern.
Yeah.
This is super interesting. So it's definitely you need to be deep into the culture to work with something like this. Some of our audience would be interested in like types of product that can find success in China. But let's ask a different one. If you go to China, like what kind of product can be an instant hit there? And which one is going to be a guaranteed fail? Is it like about certain topics, for example, or like certain verticals, etc.?
Yeah, I think it's easier to have more ideas about what you should not do, right? Because you're it's a big pool of products or even virtual concepts you can have. I don't want to block that way because it may be some new thing I don't see. But for example, the product like DD, like we had Uber before. But now, like, in China, there were like some very dominant power of the enterprises. They will have very fast iteration on the products. So once they see the market, even like Uber have a strong needs, lifestyle change, right? It's like organizational change of the taxi system. So it entered China market, and then immediately it compared, like it was leading, and then easily after a few months it's dropping, and the Chinese company is taking over. Why? Because that kind of lifestyle change require more relationship building, or like there are something you need to have a local connection with.
Sure.
So that's easier to work stuff out. And especially if you are like standing from the company's perspective, if they're doing very fast with its cheap labors comparably overseas, then it should be faster on iteration, guaranteed. No matter how long we were like from at the beginning you enter, it will be shortened. So lifestyle focus, like e-commerce related, because you need to have storage and stuff. I think that's one for like lifestyle. So I think two will be like chatting tools, and that the reasons are obvious. Like we have dominant companies already, and in front of that company, so many past cases of a Chinese company as well doing similar stuff when WeChat was smaller, trying to override or trying to get a share of the cake of the market, but they failed terribly, like terribly crashed, you know. So there's a reason. Once they have the mind share, once they have the user base with loyalty, there's no way you can get that.
Sure. Thank you very much. That was a super interesting session. Actually, I got some really interesting insights and shortcuts that I need to think of, and hope that our audience will find it useful as well. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Sina, very much for taking part in the session. And guys, if anyone wants to learn more about Chinese market, to ask some questions, feel free to reach out to Sina on LinkedIn, DM her. I'm sure that she will be happy to have a talk with you, or reach out to me directly to ask about content, etc. And stay tuned to not to miss the next episodes of UGC Ninja Byte Talks. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ross, and thank you. Hopefully it's useful for everyone, and see you. Bye.